This story begins in a busy city of the United States, where a major bank robbery is about to take place. 4 childhood friends are behind this plan. The leader of the group is Doug, the brain of the operation. Doug explains the plan carefully. As soon as they enter the bank, everyone must follow their assigned role. Grosi will collect all mobile phones to prevent any outside contact. Jim will keep an eye on everyone inside the bank, making sure no one presses the emergency alarm. The rest of the operation will be handled by Doug himself. At the same time, we see the same bank where the robbery is about to happen. A security guard walks inside carrying a bag full of cash. Suddenly, the 4 men push him aside and storm into the bank. Now the real game begins. They quickly take their positions. First, they move toward the cashier and take all the money available at the counter. But that is not enough for them. They want more. So they head toward the locker room. The keys to the locker room are with Claire, the bank manager. Claire refuses at first, but a gun is placed against her head, and nothing is more valuable than life. Left with no choice, she opens the locker room for them, and then lies down on the floor. At that moment, Claire notices a distinctive tattoo on Jim's neck. The robbers are busy collecting money and are not paying attention to her. Taking advantage of the situation, Claire quietly presses the alarm using her foot. When the alarm goes off, the robbers assume the cashier is responsible and brutally beat the old man. But by now it is already too late. Before leaving, they destroy the bank's hard drive in an oven and wipe away all fingerprints to leave no evidence behind. Suddenly, Doug gets an idea. He decides to take Claire with them as a hostage, so they can use her if anything goes wrong outside. They force her into the car and drive away. After traveling a long distance, they let Claire go, believing there is no longer any danger. The case is now assigned to Adam, a highly skilled FBI agent known for handling complex robberies. As soon as Adam enters the bank, he realizes this was not an ordinary robbery. The criminals knew exactly what evidence could expose them, and erased everything cleanly. Soon, Adam receives information about the getaway car. When he reaches the location, the car is completely burned. No one nearby knows where it came from or how it caught fire. This raises Adam's suspicion even more. Determined to catch the criminals, Adam begins questioning Claire, who tells him everything she remembers. Meanwhile, the 4 robbers distribute money to everyone who helped them. Later that evening, Jim gets angry at Doug for kidnapping Claire. Doug shows him Claire's ID card and explains that she lives nearby. If she talks, everything could fall apart. Doug decides to follow her daily and scare her occasionally, so she never dares to speak to anyone. Doug's friend warns him against this, knowing Doug's temper could ruin everything. That night, Doug visits a bar, where he meets Krista, Jim's sister. They once shared a past, but Doug has moved on, even though Krista still has feelings for him. The next day, Doug starts following Claire. She goes to a laundromat, where she notices bloodstains on her shirt. Overwhelmed, she breaks down in tears. Doug sees this as the perfect moment. He approaches her, comforts her, and casually asks if she would like to have coffee. Claire agrees. They spend time talking. Doug lies, saying he works in construction and that his father lives in another city, while in reality his father is in prison. Later, Doug assures Jim that Claire knows nothing about them, and there is no need to harm her. At the same time, Adam uncovers a major clue. The security guard who was carrying the money was absent from work during every major robbery in the city. That connection is enough for the FBI to dig deeper. Adam visits Claire again and questions her, flirting slightly to gain trust. She tells him she likes someone else, Doug. She even shares personal details, including the tattoo she saw on one of the robbers. Doug immediately warns her not to tell anyone, as it could put her life in danger. Adam discovers that Jim's name appears in the guard's circle. However, without solid evidence, he cannot arrest anyone. The FBI decides to keep watching them closely. One afternoon, Doug and Claire sit at a cafe. When Jim suddenly appears, Doug panics and quickly sends Jim away, before Claire can notice his tattoo. Later, Jim confronts Doug, accusing him of risking everyone's freedom for a woman. Jim announces that the next robbery will be his last. After that, he plans to disappear and live peacefully. The crew prepares for another big job, robbing an armored money truck. Everything goes smoothly at first, but one guard captures a member of the team, forcing them to shoot him. This becomes their biggest mistake. Police chase them aggressively. They switch vehicles as planned and vanish in seconds. Adam realizes this robbery is connected to the same group, but still lacks evidence. The team is questioned by police, but they remain silent, demanding lawyers. Adam warns them that he knows the truth and will destroy them once he finds proof. Later, Adam checks Claire's call records and finds Doug's contact. Confirming his suspicions, Doug tells Claire he is leaving the city. She reveals she quit her job too. He proposes to her and gives her a diamond necklace. She accepts, but their happiness does not last long. Adam shows Claire Doug's criminal file. At the same time, Doug's boss threatens him. Using Claire as leverage, Doug is forced into one final robbery. The final operation turns violent. Members of the crew die one by one. Doug escapes, kills his boss, steals the remaining money, and hides it in Claire's garden. He leaves the city by train. Adam waits for him, but Doug never shows up. Later, Claire discovers the buried money, along with a note saying, "We will meet again." The van had already left the city far behind. Doug sat quietly, staring out of the window, lost in thought. Only one face kept returning to his mind, Claire. He knew he had left everything behind. Friends, crime, blood, and a life he could never return to. On the other side, Claire was sitting in her garden, holding the same note that had been buried with the money. Every word reminded her of one truth. Doug was still alive. But peace never lasts long. The FBI had not stopped watching Claire. Agent Adam was certain of one thing. Doug would make another move. Men like him don't disappear quietly. A few weeks later, something strange happened in the city. An unknown bank. No alarms, no gunshots, just an empty vault. The method was familiar. Too familiar? Adam had no doubts anymore. He reopened the case file, and one thing became clear. Doug was back. That same night, Claire received a call from an unknown number. The voice was distorted, but she recognized it instantly. It was Doug. He said only one thing. "I told you. We would meet again." Claire's hands began to shake. She knew this call wasn't about love. It was a signal. Doug was no longer the man he once was. He was alone, wounded, broken from the inside. The greatest danger for him now wasn't the FBI. It was his own conscience. Adam met Claire again. This time his tone was firm and cold. He said, "Either you tell the truth, or the next damage will be closer than you think." Claire made a difficult decision. She told Adam everything. The call, the voice, the time. A trap was set. Doug believed he was still the smartest man in the game, but he didn't realize this move could be his last. An old building, an empty location, the same place where he was supposed to meet Claire. Doug arrived, but Claire never came. Suddenly, lights turned on from every direction. Police, FBI agents, and Adam standing right in front of him. Doug smiled, as if this was exactly what he expected. He said, "The game is over, or maybe not yet." And with that, he turned back and disappeared into the darkness. Adam knew one thing for sure. This was not the last encounter. The story pauses here, at a new turning point, where the hunter and the hunted are both waiting for each other.